How to start a conversation in English from espressoenglish.net. Do you have difficulty speaking English? Sometimes the hardest part is simply starting a conversation. Today, you'll learn expressions for starting a conversation in English in any situation, formal or informal, at work, school, or other contexts. With friends, you can use informal English expressions like these. What's up? What's new? How's it going? To reply to what's up or what's new, people often say something that has happened in their life currently or recently. You can also say not much if there's nothing to report. If someone says, how's it going? You can answer, great, good, or not so good, and then say why. With colleagues in the office, you use slightly more formal English, such as these. Hi, John, how are you doing? How's your day going? We're sure having a busy day today. Or, we're sure having a slow day today. Have you heard the news about? Have you got any plans for the weekend? Or, how was your weekend? You can talk about projects you're working on or about hobbies you have outside work. Current national and international news is also a good topic of conversation. How about starting a conversation with a friend who you haven't seen in a long time? Here are some common expressions to start a conversation with someone you see after a long separation. Hi, Paula. How have you been? Long time no see. So, what have you been up to lately? How's your family? Are you still working at ABC Company? In this case, you can ask about news in your friend's work, study, family, and hobbies. The friend will probably ask you about recent developments in your own life, too. How about starting a conversation at a social event like a party or a wedding? If you see someone you don't know, you can say, I don't think we've met. I'm Shayna. Are you from New York? So, how do you know Mary? Have you tried the chocolate cake? It's delicious. If you're at a party or wedding, you can start a conversation by asking how the person knows the host of the party or the people getting married. You can also comment about the food and drinks or about the music. Now let's look at phrases for starting a conversation at a conference or a work event. You can use that same line to greet a stranger who you'd like to get to know. I don't think we've met. I'm Shayna. So, where are you from? What did you think of the speaker? That was an excellent workshop. I learned a lot. How about you? You can ask about the person's job, what company they are from, and their opinions about the conference events. How about talking to someone who you were just introduced to? Of course, you can say, nice to meet you. You can also ask, how do you two know each other, if a friend is introducing a new person. Other good conversation starters include, so, what do you do for a living? That means, what is your job? If the person is introduced as a student, you can ask, what are you studying? Another good follow-up question is, how long have you been a journalist? How long have you been doing yoga? How long have you been interested in music? And how did you get into it? When you meet someone for the first time, you can ask casually about the new person's profession, interests, hobbies, etc. Their answers will then give you opportunities to ask more or share about yourself. It's common to start conversations with people who you meet outside in public places. Here are some phrases for that. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? It looks like it's going to rain or snow. Can you believe all this rain we've been having? Or snow. Sure is a hot one today. Or, sure is a cold one today. Just look at those flowers. They're amazing, aren't they? Your dog is so cute. What's his name? If you're in a park, on the street, etc., the most common way to start a conversation is by talking about the weather or the surroundings. Finally, when talking with a stranger, that's a person you don't know, in other contexts, the secret is to make a comment about the current social context. Here are a few examples of how to do this. At an art gallery. That's an interesting painting. What do you think of it? At a bar. This is a great song. I love Latin music. How about you? At a sports game. Wow, that was a great play. So, who's your favorite player? At a cafe. Boy, do I need a coffee. At a concert or event. What a great turnout. Have you ever been here before? At a playground. My kids are sure full of energy today. You don't need to ask a direct question. You can simply make a comment to the other person, and this is like an invitation for the other person to comment too. This can then begin a conversation, and we'll learn more about how to continue the conversation in our next lesson. If you want to learn the phrases you need for situations in day-to-day life, take my Everyday English Speaking course. You can click on the link in the video for more information. How to continue a conversation in English from EspressoEnglish.net. Here's an example of how not to have an English conversation. Did you have a good weekend? Yes, I did. And you? Yeah. Unfortunately, the conversation stops here because there's no natural way to continue it. You have to think of a new question. This is okay if you only want to have a quick conversation. For example, if you are quickly passing a coworker in the hallway. But how can you have a longer conversation in English? Today, I'm going to teach you 3 keys to continuing a conversation. The first one is to ask questions that start with question words, like who, what, when, where, why, and how. Try to avoid yes or no questions, because yes or no questions can be answered with a very short answer, yes or no. But questions that start with question words will bring out more information from the other person. For example, if you ask the other person, "How did you spend your weekend?" then they will start talking about the activities they did. The second key to continuing a conversation is this. In each of your answers, give 1 or 2 details that will help continue the conversation. You don't need to talk for a long time, so it takes the pressure off. The third key is to talk about these topics: family, interests and hobbies, sports, TV, movies, music, popular culture, current events, travel and interesting places, and your experiences or the other person's experiences. Unless the other person is a very good friend of yours, avoid topics like politics, religion, sex life, health problems, and personal finances. These are considered topics to be discussed only among very close friends or family members. Here are 2 example conversations. Notice how each person adds 1 or 2 details, and then there is a follow-up question about the details. Conversation 1. Hey, how was your weekend? Pretty good. I went to a baseball game with my brother. Really? Who was playing? The Yankees and the Red Sox. We're huge Yankees fans. Yeah? How was the game? Very exciting. It was tied until the last inning when we won 2-1. Ha, that's great. I can't say I'm a baseball fan myself. I prefer basketball. Basketball, huh? Playing or watching? Both. I've played basketball since I was a kid. No kidding. You must be really good. Well, I just play for fun. It's a great workout. I bet. I could use more exercise myself, but I don't think I'm cut out for basketball. I was thinking of joining a martial arts class. That sounds interesting. Which one? So you can see how the conversation goes from the weekend to baseball to basketball and then exercise and martial arts. Each person just gives one or two details and then the follow-up question kind of comes naturally. Here's another one, conversation number 2. This conversation takes place in a park. What a beautiful day! It feels like summer. Sure does. I can't wait for the summer. We're taking a big family vacation in June. Oh, where are you going? We're going to Colorado for a month of hiking and camping. Have you ever been there? Yes, I've actually been to Denver twice on business trips, but they didn't involve any hiking. How about you? Any special plans for the summer? No, not really. I'm saving up my vacation time for December when I'm going to Costa Rica. Wow, why Costa Rica? Well, my best friend from college lives there now. She owns a hotel, and she invited me to spend a couple of weeks there to escape the cold winter weather. How wonderful! Do you speak any Spanish? Barely any, only what I remember from classes in high school. Again, it's easy to keep the conversation going when you ask about the other person's plans and experiences. I think it's great to learn spoken English from conversations, and in my Everyday English Speaking course, you have that opportunity. You'll read and listen to a dialogue, and then I'll explain the phrases and expressions. Click on the link in the video to take a free sample.